Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sesh. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello. Welcome back, hotties, to another episode of Smoke Sesh. My name is Hannah, your host, and I'm so excited to be back with you all on this beautiful little Tuesday morning, evening, whenever you're listening. Happy to have you here nonetheless. Not me about to open my mouth and be like, so I've been up to this. Honestly, haven't been up to a lot, which is kind of nice. I honestly think I've just been creating a lot of chaos in my own head, which has kept me paralyzed. Sorry for the bad vibes this early. Don't worry, we're gonna smoke a bowl here shortly. Energy will be up. But if you listen to last episode where I was like, oh my god, I'm kind of panicking, I'm in my mid-20s, what the fuck am I doing? Oh my god, all the comments. First of all, love the Spotify comments, love the YouTube comments, love hearing from you guys. But all the comments of people who, are also my age, going through the same exact thing or have been through the same exact thing, being like, no, me too, girl, don't you worry, we are in this together. It is so incredibly nice. It is so nice. It genuinely kind of just reinforces how proud I am of this community, of everybody here. Just being able to be like, no, this is real, this is raw, this is life. Not only am I experiencing this, but also someone else is. And sure, maybe it's hard, maybe it's difficult, maybe it's challenging, but at the very least, we have each other and we have peace of mind of knowing that no matter what we go through, we never go through it alone. That was probably one of my biggest challenges when I was like struggling when I was younger, especially with like mental health issues. I thought what I was facing was like just me. I thought I was the world's craziest girl, like lock me up now. Something is severely wrong. To be fair, something was severely wrong, but also it's like you and a million other people are also experiencing this. Like you are not alone. So it is just really nice hearing your feedback and hearing, that we're all kind of facing whatever life throws at us together. So I just want to extend a hand of gratuity to you all and just send a big fucking kiss. A big I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. But like I said, haven't been up too much. Yesterday I went apple picking for a new recipe. I love going apple picking in the fall. It's just like I love to be out in the country. I really am a country girl to my heart. Unfortunately, I really fought it when I was younger. I've done the city experience. I have lived it fully. I am ready to be in the peace and quiet. And there's nothing better than just like being in a field full of like fresh fruit, picking your own fresh fruit, and then coming home and baking. I am making a cinnamon apple cheesecake bun recipe. Yeah, you heard me right. Yes, your mouth is watering for a reason. It should be up on my Instagram sometime this week. I'm in my manic positivity posting phase of life right now again. I'm sure a bunch of you started following me, or if you did started following me a while ago, especially around my TikTok era. Oh my god, TikTok era. I kind of blew up on TikTok because I was manically positivity posting, aka me just trying to stay sane and share little bits of wisdom with other people. And it caught on because, of course, I like to garner kind of a community of like-minded individuals. And I don't know, I guess I stopped. I got overwhelmed. I stopped doing it. I stopped engaging in manic positivity. And now that I'm having a more difficult time in life, clock it, I'm engaging in that behavior again, where it is kind of just like, if you feel like you can't, or if you feel like you don't have it, you must create it. If you feel like you're lacking it, you can always make space for it. And when I was going through a really difficult time back then, when I started kind of engaging in manic positivity, it was like, oh my god, I'm so empty, but that means there's room for something, so let's fill it with something positive. And now I'm kind of going through that phase where it's like, oh my god, listen, I am happy. I am thankful of everything I have. It's not like I'm like really, really, really struggling. It's just kind of like being okay with where I'm at and appreciating the growth stage instead of being so accomplishment focused, instead of being so like futuristic focused. Of course, it's important to have goals and dream, but also it's like you gotta be there for the journey. You gotta be there for the growth of it all. And thus, I am in my manic positivity stage once again. So if you need a dose of manic positivity, go over to the Instagram, follow me at Hannah Marlene. I will be uploading a lot of that shit. I think we all need it, especially now more than ever as we are prepping for winter, and also with like the stage of the world right now, we all could use a little hope. That is safe to fucking say. But we have a fun episode lined up. I have a bunch of fun topics to go through. You guys had some really good questions this week. That being said, like I said, I'm in a weird phase, so we're gonna smoke a bowl. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna smoke a bowl. I've already been up for a few hours now. I'm watching my parents' dog again, so we have already gone for like a 2-hour long walk. I've already like started some dishes. There's more I need to do, but this is a really good time for me to like pause, take a break, chat with the girlies, and yeah, a little reset moment for us all. So let's hit this shit, girls. Cheers. You know you're going through something when you rip a fatty bowl and you don't even cough afterwards. It's like, okay, cold-hearted. Okay, stone cold herd. I also have my little MUAH energy for the energy drink girlies. I discovered something that has truly changed my life because, not gonna lie, I used to drink at the very least, like a Red Bull a day. And that's on top of coffee, on top of multiple coffees, perhaps an entire pot of black coffee. Yeah, I might have heart issues in the future, but for now, we gotta keep that motivation going. And I discovered MUAH energy, you guys. I think it's like 80 milligrams of caffeine per like little MUAH squirt. And so I be filling this shit up. It is so nice, especially being like running around. I'm going crazy. I just need to make something at home and I don't want to spend so much money. I think it's like $5 for like the big size of the MUAH energy. Let me put my energy drink girls on. It is fire. And I think it's like pretty much 0 calories, which is crazy if you think about it. But we're going to follow that bong rip with a high dose of caffeine. Cheers. Ooh. All right. Vibes are set. Let's get into what you guys have on your minds. Someone said, I'm a mess and I'm proud. And you know what? As you should be. I need that on a t-shirt now. You know what? Maybe I'll make them. Who knows? But me too. If you don't know, right now we are going through kind of this eclipse journey. If you've been hearing the word eclipse, it's because right now we are kind of in the middle to the end of like almost a little over a month long experience of a eclipse season. And essentially what eclipses do is they bring the shadow into the light. They kind of highlight things that we've been maybe like pushing back, highlight things that we've been like, oop, I don't want to see, you know? And recognizing that can be quite jarring, safe to say. It could be quite a jump scare. So think back in the past month if you have been noticing any like reoccurring themes, reoccurring thought patterns, things like that. You're supposed to be recognizing those. You're supposed to be paying attention to those, and you're supposed to be handling that shit so you don't have to carry it with you for the rest of your life. Honestly, the beautiful thing about eclipse season is like you will change. You'll change. How you get there, who fucking knows? It could be a bumpy ride. It could be a smooth one, depending on how you approach it. But you will change always. And if you're a girl who kind of like fights change or is fearful of it, like me, don't worry, it's going to happen anyway. So you might as well just buckle up and take the fucking ride. But I think for me, one of my biggest lessons, especially this eclipse season, it's not so incredibly serious or scary. I mean, maybe to some people it is. I'm fine living in the shadows a little bit. but it's being okay with where I'm at, being okay with here and now, releasing like perfectionist mindsets, or like releasing the idea of constantly moving the goalpost, which essentially is basically just telling myself like, I'm not good enough. You need to do more. You need to do more. You need to do more. And I fear it is rooted in a little bit of like childhood trauma, or the way I was raised, just by two people who really wanted me to be the best I could. But now it's like, I really just need to start accepting the mess of it all. I need to start accepting the weird, the messy, the unkept. It's okay to not be a perfectionist all the time. It's okay to occasionally have dishes in the sink. It's okay to, have to restart a project. It's okay to be okay with also like stopping a project, like finishing it, just putting shit out there. Releasing this idea of perfectionism is also just gonna allow me to be myself. I understand that deep down it's hard in the process of it all, but for me personally, that's been my kind of biggest lesson. Oh my god, and I loved it. It's so funny because you're like, why would you stop? I started doing YouTube videos and I was so consistent with it for at least like a month and a half, maybe 2 months, where I was putting out a video every week. And you guys, it was kind of the highlight of my week. It challenged me creatively. It got me to think outside of the box. It got me to try new things. I was setting goals for myself and achieving them no matter what. Like, it was like, okay, I need a video up by this day, so just think of something, do it, put it out there, instead of like pausing and waiting for the perfect sort of video to hit me. And I stopped. I went on vacation, which was necessary, but it got me out of my routine of creating. And then I just like pushed myself further and further in a hole of like, well, when I come back, the video needs to be amazing. When I do this, it needs to be amazing. And I think a lot of people experience this in their everyday, day-to-day lives, whether you're an artist or not. Maybe you're a painter and you're like, well, I put out this amazing piece last time, but now I need to wait because, it has to live up to that last piece, forgetting that the reason we were able to create that amazing piece in the first place was because of all the maybe mediocre or simplified or out there pieces that we created before. It is a part of the journey, not just the creation. And you may experience this, outside of, like I said, creative processes. Maybe it's like, okay, I'm a fucking computer analyst, I just did this amazing big project for my company. It took me months. It took me a long time, and doing it really felt amazing. But now I'm back to my menial tasks, and it doesn't feel as grandiose or as effective in a way, or like effective as this major project was. We forget that the reason the outcome is so incredible is because of the hard work, the time, the dedication that we put into it before getting to the end. The journey of it all, the weird, the messy, the explorative, the unperfect journey of it all. And so my eclipse lesson has been learning to be okay with the mess, learning to be okay with not being perfect, with, being a flawed individual. There is truth in simply just being human. And with that comes ups and downs and upside downs and sidewaysisms. I don't even know, girl. I'm so high. It's not a straightforward path though. You know what I mean? And there's going to be weird, messy moments that can be beautiful depending on how you look at it, that you can release and move on from if you allow yourself to. But I have been kind of stuck in that perfectionist mindset for quite a bit, at least a couple months, which is longer than I'm used to. So best believe I'm kind of like panicking, like, girl, we gotta break these cycles. We gotta get out of here. These dungeons are really dark and wet and dirty and gross. Like, we need to come up to the light. And the only person who can kind of like pull you there is yourself. Ooh, scary, but thank God, at least you know the answer of how to get out. So, bitch, I'm putting on my fucking boots, pulling them up to the knees, trudging through that mess, and getting the hell out of there. I've already set some new goals for myself, which is exciting. I'm really trying to turn the beauty of fall into something that can be celebrated and I can use as a crutch to kind of embrace the beauty of the world, to embrace the manic positivity, learn those lessons so we don't have to carry them with us for the rest of our lives. I also think me going through this process is something I've been going through for a long time. This is a lesson I've been like relearning constantly throughout my life, and that's what's funny about like embracing different themes that come to you. Also, what's just funny about life is, you know, it's not a linear path. You're gonna have ups and downs. You're gonna have to revisit kind of thought processes and patterns, but every time you come out with a new understanding and a new idea and just stronger and better, and it is the best. I know all my hard work will be worth it because I can look in the past and see what it's done for me then. So I can only assume that the future is going to be so, so amazing. But instead of paying attention to that future, that I need to do this idea, this pedestal, this award, whatever it may be, I need to focus on here and now and what's in front of me. To embrace it, to hug it, to love it, no matter what. Amen. Embrace the mess, babes. Seriously, we're all a fucking mess. You might as well learn to have a good ass fucking time no matter what. To embrace the here and now, no matter where you may be. It's also the week before my period. It's like the week before my period, I kind of lose my mind a little bit, where it's like everybody's against me. Nothing's gonna work out for me. Everything sucks. The world is spinning upside down. What the hell is happening? Maybe I opened my eyes a little bit too big. My peripherals are like a little too big. We need to focus in a bit. But like I said, managing the best I can manic positivity. And I trust manic positivity. Genuinely, I trust it. It has like flipped me into such a different person. And I look back on like moments of my life where I'm like in a depressed state, where it's like, okay, bitch, you have no fucking choice. Just like start seeing the light. And if you don't see it, like, bitch, start creating your own spark. I think back to like the last time I entered that manic positivity stage and where it got me and the mindset that I was in. Like if you first started listening and you were like, oh my God, this positive ass bitch, wow. Like that's where it got me. It got me from like such a low to such a high that I trust wholeheartedly by it. Not only is it just like such a good practice when you maybe find yourself entering a zone where you're constantly saying negative things to yourself or constantly thinking in a negative way, being able to flip those or just like forcing yourself to flip those will directly change the way that you start to think. It'll force you to start looking for good, for looking for positivity, for seeking it out. So like scientifically, it'll affect the way you think. And that in turn directly affects your reality. It directly affects like how you view your reality, the light you shine on it, you know, the story that you write about it. Is it going to be a negative one or a positive one? The way you start thinking or are able to see, you know, the good in the mess is by stop seeing it as a mess, you know, start implementing a little more positivity, start forcing yourself to think a bit more positive so you're able to engage in those types of thinking easier. It flows to you naturally. And the way I like view my thinking is a lot of just like, it's very technical. Like the way you would ride a bike, you know, the first time you get on there, I'm not expecting you to know how to ride a fucking bike. You know, you'll maybe put like one pedal forward and then you're going to fall over. But when you fall over, are you going to, you know, lay there in the grass and bleed, or are you going to get back up on your bike? Get back up, bitch. Maybe you put 2 steps forward and then 3 and then 4 pedals. All of a sudden you're riding the bike. Like it is just practice. And in turn, you will start to basically just do it without thinking eventually. My manic positive post of today, what was it? Let's see. It was, if you don't see love in everything, what's the point? You know what? Period. She's so right. Oh, on to more questions. Okay. Help. How do I get prettier? I feel like my appearance is lacking. Oh, this is interesting. If I were like anybody else, I'd be like, you need this 8-step skincare routine. You need to go to the gym for 800 hours a week. You need to only eat unprocessed things from the earth. And you need to get like salmon sperm injections into your face twice a week. Like these things will change your life and you will never be hotter. Did anybody else just lose brain cells listening to that? Yeah. Me too. No. You want to get hotter. You want to get sexier. You want the real tea. You got to work on your self-esteem. Yeah. The hottest, sexiest person in the room is not the person with the most things done, the most money, the most whatever. No, the most radiant, ethereal person in the room is the person with the highest self-confidence. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't walk into the room if your self-confidence isn't there. Like, you can walk into any room, you belong there no matter what, queen, love you. No. But if you want to work on how you feel and your appearance and your positivity towards self, you gotta work on that self-esteem. You do. If you don't know how to start, manic positivity, it is the only way to go. Even if you don't believe it, you gotta say those things to yourself of just like, wow, I am so hot, I am so sexy, I'm the baddest bitch here, like I am glowing, I am ethereal. Even if you feel like a piece of garbage, you just have to keep telling yourself that, and it'll stick. You will start believing the things you say. It is true. But I genuinely believe that, no amount of money, no amount of like perception will make you hot. It is how you view yourself, you approach yourself, how you present yourself to the world, your self-confidence, your self-assuredness, your peace within self. That's what makes you hot and sexy. That's what makes you the like unapproachable girl in the club. What makes you like the hottest girl in the coffee shop, like the most radiant individual ever. Like, I remember I've had moments in my life where it's like I truly felt that way about myself, and looking back, I like look at myself at like the flat Stanley version of the photos, and I'm like, oh my god, meth head, scary. And I was at the time, I'm not even kidding. But like, how I viewed myself was so hot and sexy, and the interactions I had in that time in my life were a direct result of like how I viewed myself. Like, the approaches I had, the people who came up to me just saying, oh my god, you're so radiant, you're so beautiful. Like, the people who just like would spew their whole life story at me because I looked like a comforting individual. It was because I viewed myself as like this like goddess, amazing, gorgeous, beautiful, brilliant. And so other people viewed that the same way. Monkey see, monkey do. Monkey see, monkey do, babe. Let me give you a different way of viewing it. Okay, the like worst guy he probably thinks the best things about himself. And you were probably sitting here like, how the hell does he pull these girls? He views himself so amazing, like the catch, like high pedestal. These other girls also view him the same way. Even though you know him and you're like, that man's evil, run. That initial attraction is because that self-confidence, that self-assuredness that he puts out. And not that I'm saying, you should be evil and mask it. That's not what I'm saying. But it's like we run into all these magnetic people where we're like, how the hell do they do it? How the hell are they doing it? And it's because they think highly of themselves. They boost their self-confidence. They trust in themselves. They pour love into themselves. They take time for themselves. They put energy into themselves. And it's positive energy. It radiates. It does. So no, I'm not going to sell you a 8-week plan on how to get hot for only $15.99. That's not what I'm going to sell you. I'm not going to sell you lip injections and filler. I'm not going to sell you the newest workout trend. I'm going to sell you manic positivity. I'm going to sell you thinking highly of yourself, monkey biting lip emoji, because that's what's really going to work. That's what's going to work for you. What's the favorite job you've ever had? Ooh, this is a good question. I mean, of course, this one is like so amazing and so incredible, and I never thought I'd be able to do this. But on a practical level, the best job I've ever had was being a nanny. Tenfold. It was the best job ever. I genuinely, there's something about me. I love working with kids. I do. They are just like little rays of sunshine. Even when they're screaming in your face, it's like, girl, I get it, and I'm jealous. I can't scream, like I love the free will they have, and I love to just also like encourage it and also like be able to take life not so seriously. And one thing kids are gonna do is not take life seriously. That's for fucking sure. And sometimes we need a dose of that. That's why I loved working with kids. You know what? Fuck it. Let's talk about all the jobs I've ever had. Are you curious? Guess what? I got answers for you. You need a part-time job. I got you. I don't know if I've ever talked about this before. Probably. I feel like I've talked about everything at this point in time. But let's see. First job I ever had, well, of course, like babysitting when I was younger. Like, I think I started babysitting, not even kidding, when I was 12, which it's like, if you wouldn't expect a 12-year-old boy to be able to babysit, why the fuck are you putting a 12-year-old girl in that position? Something to scratch your head at. What in the world? What's going on? Because why was I taking care of children at 12 years old? I was a child. I wanted to be eating that pizza and playing fucking video games. But all of a sudden I'm the adult. What's going on? That's spooky. Anyways, I'll take $60. You know, my mom's like, you want to fucking work, bitch? I got friends with kids. Are you going to show up or are you going to stay here? And I showed up every time. What am I going to say no to money? Okay. So, of course, that translated into I still worked with kids, but my first ever, like, I guess job I had to claim taxes for was I worked for a child psychologist. This was also one of my parents' friends, which now thinking about it, it's like, why wasn't I a patient? Once again, why was I working for him and why was I not a patient? But I think I started working as a child psychologist as soon as it was legally allowed on tax records, which I think in the state of Kansas was 14, maybe 15. And I started this in high school, and he'd pick me up from high school in his like pickup truck, like old beat down pickup truck. And then we worked like downtown in the city. Oh my God, the tiniest little city. It was like a tiny little building next to the post office and the library, which is all that existed in the city. Oh, and the prison, the prison, which we hosted the state fair next to, and the prisoners would flash us through the windows. I'm not kidding. My mom be like, don't look up. The tiny ass, skinny ass little windows. It's like me on the carnival rides looking up dick. I'm scared. Once again, what is going on? Why would they not move it? Don't ask me. Anyways, he was a child psychologist, so what I was doing was essentially like filing paper, making phone calls he didn't want to make, and then occasionally I would have to give like tests to children where it's like, okay, colorless picture, they'll analyze it later when they are in their meeting. I also had to attend court cases occasionally. Oh my God, I was 15, so incredibly young. But honestly, for being like 15, very interesting job. Very lucky to have had it and been able to just like be able to transition into a professional setting that early. So I knew how to kind of engage with adults. I was so fucking awkward working at this place, but it really taught me a lot about just like, customer service, but also just like engaging with people on a human level, which is like, I want to say nonchalant, but just very casual. I feel like right now, especially interacting with the world post-COVID as a customer service person, people do not know how to interact with each other, and it's a bit spooky and it's a bit scary, and I fear the only way to escape that anxiety and learn how to interact with people is to do it more. Once again, practice makes perfect, girl. You just gotta try. Who cares if you're being weird at first? Like, you'll get there. I was so anxious shaking my boots the first time someone walked in that therapist office, and I had to be like, girl, it's not about you. Like, I can't even imagine what this child is going through right now. So like, put yourself aside, put a smile on your face, and do your fucking job. So I did that until I got a car, which was 17. It was my junior and senior year, maybe just my senior year of high school. I started working as, once again, still with kids, but no wonder I love it so much. It's all I've ever done. I worked as a 2-year-old teacher. I was a 2-year-old teacher, and then once I went into college in the summers, I had my own classroom. Once again, why was I doing this without any sort of licensure? I mean, they gave me some sort of like certificates or whatever. I had to take like learning and courses and CPR and all that shit, but also like I was not an education major, you know, like what am I doing teaching 2-year-olds? But that is my favorite age. Those kids are fucking crazy and hilarious. I love it. My niece is 2 right now, and she is just like a little fucking monster, and I'm obsessed. Like, she is everything to me. 2 is like the age where they don't quite know rules yet, but they know it enough to just like semi-behave. But when they don't behave, it's for a reason. It's like also a reason that's very valid. Every time they act out, I'm like, I feel you. Like, I definitely do. We just unfortunately can't scream in the library, you know? But anyways, I did that for a while, and then up until college I did that, and I was literally, I'm not even kidding, we opened at 6 a.m. I left 6 p.m. I also lived an hour away because I lived with my grandmother at the time. And so I'd wake up, it'd be like 4 a.m., driving an hour, getting there at 6, opening, having my own classroom, 6 to 6, sometimes 6:30, because you know parents are late sometimes, and whatever, what am I going to do, lock your child in the classroom and leave it here? I wish, but I can't. Oh, but yeah, I did that. Side hustles I've always done since I was a teenager is just like Depop. I just collect clothes, not even for a fun reason. It's more of like an obsession. And so like once a month I'll be like, I gotta get rid of clothes, and of course donate a majority of them. But anything that I'm like, you know what, I can get 10-15 bucks out of this, I'll upload on Depop. I am doing a lot of that right now, so if you want to shop my Depop, I believe it's Smoke Sesh Shoddy. So I've always done that as a side hustle, little babysitting wherever I can. I babysat a lot in college to my sister-in-law's family, which shout out to them for that, because like I needed to fucking drink. Oh yeah, it's Smoke Sesh Shoddy with 2 Y's. I need drinking money. Thank you so much. Yes, I will babysit. Happy to. Also, like, don't recommend, nor did I really ever do this. A lot of people I know sold edibles and whatever they could get their hands on, mushrooms, things like that. Just people I know, you know, they need a quick buck. Is that something I recommend? Absolutely not. But once again, who am I to say no to money? I did tattoo art commissions for a while in college. Just people, I went to like a Catholic school, so of course like everybody leaves their parents' house, they're either getting something pierced or a tattoo, and none of them had an artistic bone in their body, so they'd be like, Hannah, I need you to draw me something. Cool, I got you. I mean, your artist already does that, but fuck it, I'll take $5 or whatever it is. I also in college would write people's papers. I made big fucking money off of that. I made big money off of that because I wrote for the student athletes. My friend was like a professional golfer, or was like on the golf team, so she was always at parties with like the basketball players, and just like, I don't know, we didn't have football, but like lacrosse, soccer, basketball and soccer was really big at my school. And so of course I'm there, and they're like, man, fuck, I have a paper due tomorrow. And I'm like, this party sucks anyways, what's your paper about? I'll write it for you for $150. And the last thing a student athlete wants to do is honestly write a paper, especially the ones I knew, not to categorize. I know you guys are smart, whatever. But the ones I was interacting with, they were happily giving over $150 for me to write their paper, considering they were getting flown in private jets to their games. Babe, they had the money to spare. My fellow like students, we did not have the money to spare. Those student athletes, those people who were with like rich parents, they got the money to spare. So best believe, yes, I'm gonna write a 8-page paper for you, and the best you're getting is a B, because they know you can't write at an A level. If you have a C in the class, I'm not writing a paper at an A level, because hello, red flag, red flag, red flag. I'm not getting caught. I need to keep this $150, nor do I need to be expelled. So yeah, I did a lot of that, and honestly, easiest moneymaker ever. I'm very, very good at writing technically. Like once I was in an AP class and they taught me how to write a paper, I was like, easy. I just need to fucking do this for the rest of my life. So yeah, did that in college. What else? Oh, well then I dropped out of college and I was like, I gotta make money. I don't know why my head first thing I said was, I want to work at the Cheesecake Factory. Thank God they did not hire me. I could only imagine the hellscape of having to work at a Cheesecake Factory. Not because like I hate Cheesecake Factory or something. Like, ugh, love that place down. But just like, oh my God, the overwhelming amount of menu items you need to know. And also just like the clientele and the high volume. No, thank you. But a small little ramen shop next to me hired me on immediately. I said, I'll be a host. You want to work in the restaurant industry? Start hosting. I was a host, and then I was like, damn, this shit don't pay. So I told my manager, I said, oh, I got a competitive offer from a different restaurant. That's a lie. And they're offering me $3 more, and they offer to start training me to serve. And so if you can do that for me, I'll stay here. If not, I'm leaving. That was a bold-faced lie, but I needed money and I didn't know how to ask for it. And so that felt like the easiest way. And guess what? She said, give me a second, let me make a phone call. 5 minutes later, we'll keep you on. We'll change the pay today, and we'll start training you in a month when this person leaves. Clock it. So I then became a server, served for a while, stayed at that restaurant, and then COVID hit. Oh my God, COVID hit, you guys. And then I was a nanny. I was a private nanny for 2 years. I became a nanny on care.com because they needed childcare. They had to keep working in office, but they didn't want their kids going to a daycare during COVID. Very valid. We had no clue what was going on. Like, I get you, girl. I don't know how I got that position. Genuinely, I don't know how I got that position. Listen, I'm your only option. Like, I have some experience. I have art experience. I also have like childcare experience. So it's not like I'm just going into this blind. I'm CPR certified. Like, if you need a person, I'll do it. I'll do it for cheap pay. And I think I got paid like $500 a week or something. Pretty good in the long run, especially for, mid-COVID. And oh my God, I loved that job. I loved it. It was such a good time. I mean, like, it started at 8 a.m. and it ended at like 6. It was a long day, but like, me and those kids were just kicking it. I get over there, make my little coffee. We're going to do some art. We're going to go on a 4-hour walk. I don't know. Let's get into nature. Let's go to the park. Let's play at the park. Lunchtime, nap time, chill time, play outside. Parents are home. Done. I basically just lived like a child for 2 years. And then the kids grew up, and one was then in kindergarten, and the other one, the dad got a job somewhere else, and they provided daycare for them for free. So hello, we don't need this random girl in our house. Very valid, very real. I also just like needed to do something else. Then I went back to the ramen restaurant because I was like unemployed for 3 months. And your girl needs money. Hello, I'll go wherever. Back at the ramen restaurant, server, bartender, manager, quit the ramen restaurant, then at a Turkish restaurant, and now here I am doing a podcast. What the hell? What the helly? One long journey. And you know what? Like, all very random. I encourage you guys, if you can take the most randomest jobs, it will make you such a well-rounded individual. Never believe you're too good for a job. What are you saying? You're too good for money? Hello. There's no such thing, especially in this economy. Like, I'll get a job wherever, I'll do whatever, I don't care. If you treat me poorly, I'll look for something else. Absolutely. If the pay's shitty, like, I am not inclined to take it, but $14 is better than $0 or whatever. The California girls are like, $14, that's not minimum wage. I fear I'm in the Midwest. They do not want to give us money, that's for sure. But I know in my future, I'm just going to keep doing random jobs. And honestly, it makes me very excited for my future, where it's just like, I need to embrace the vibe I'm on fully, commit fully, do the best I can, make some fucking money, and get out of there. Do I believe that there's like something I'm meant to do? Yes, but it's not like I'm meant to be a jeweler. I'm meant to be a podcaster. I'm meant to be a painter. Some people find their niche and they're able to do that. Absolutely. But the way I view like future and jobs and all that is just like, I want to be creative. If I'm able to be creative, I'm chilling, whether it's like at my job or not. As long as I have time to be creative, I will be happy. If I had to take a guess on like what my next like maybe job is, and you're like, Hannah, why are you working a job outside of podcasting? Because I don't know. I've always worked like 2 or 3 jobs. It's just how I was raised. My parents always worked 2 or 3 jobs. They were teachers, so best believe they had to work 2 or 3 jobs. It's just what it was. Like, if you want to have 2 children and send them to college and be able to afford dinner, every night. You have to work 2 or 3 jobs. So my dad coached, did other stuff on the side. My mom would sometimes do like summer school. She always was doing work with like her union after school, or like teacher training, whatever it was. They were always working 2 or 3 jobs. So I think it's just ingrained in me at this point in time that it's like, sure, I'll always do something creative as like a job / hobby, but also I'm gonna need something else to just like switch up my routine. I think if I had to guess what my future ones would be, I would love to work on a ranch. Like, I don't even care if I'm like working with horses. I think it'd be fun to just like work the front desk and be in the environment. That's what I'm really, really looking at. I think it'd be super fun, and also just like more so in the environment that I like to work. And also I want to get into jewelry making. I don't know if that will necessarily be a job, but it's definitely like my next creative endeavor, is like newest creative endeavor, something I've never done before. I want to get into jewelry making. And that's what's beautiful about life, is you can have these ideas and they don't just have to be ideas. You want to be a jeweler? Go do it. You want to work at a restaurant? Go do it. You want to be a engineer? Go do it. You want to go to outer space? Go do it. You want to smoke weed all day on your couch and do absolutely nothing? I mean, weird hobby, but like, fuck it, I guess, you know? I be that girl sometimes. I do. But yeah, I've done everything under the sun, and never ever in my head was I like, I can't do this, you know? Sometimes I burn out. Sometimes I'm like, this is odd, but it was never like, oh, I can't do this. So truly, anything you set your mind to, you can. And sometimes you got to pick up those odd jobs to make ends meet. I'll tell you what, sometimes you just got to hustle and bustle, especially in this economy. I'm like, yes, I will take $100. Thank you. Yes, I will. Yeah, I'll pick up that shift. I don't give a fuck. I was ready to leave the restaurant industry, but like, yeah, whatever. I'll work every once in a while. You send me an SOS text, whatever. I'll show up. I know how to do it. It's easy. And what am I going to do? Like I said, say no to money. Never put yourself in harm's way. Never do anything outside of your comfort zone. Never put yourself and or others at risk. Those are my only rules for like making money. Like, always do it a safe way. So sorry for the rambly episode. It's just going to be one of those days. Once I smoke weed, I'm like, yeah, I'll talk about something for 8 hours. Yes. Yeah, especially with a microphone in my hand, I will sit here and talk about something for as long as I possibly can, truly until I run out of words. I guess this is in the realm of jobs. Someone asked, would you want to be famous? Big time. I guess like, no. Like A-list famous? Hell no. I could not handle that. I would be admitted to the psych ward immediately. I think sometimes when people get podcasts, you think, oh, you know, they're going to move on to talk shows. They're going to move on to like things like that next. Like, you want to grow more in the eye. And it's like, I love our little niche community. I mean, if I can reach somebody and make a difference, that's truly all I care about. But I don't need to reach everybody. I understand I'm not everybody's cup of tea. It's okay to like dislike me, but like, I don't need to be in the eye of being an A-list celebrity where it's like too many watchful eyes. That makes me incredibly anxious. I'm okay being perceived, but I feel like when you enter that A-list status, it goes outside of perception and it becomes like you become a commodity, which is scary. As a very human individual, the last thing I think I could handle is becoming a commodity. So no, I don't want to be A-list famous. I'm pretty chillin' where I am and the amount of people that know me now, and I'm happy with what we have. I think it's like the perfect formula, and I could not thank you guys enough for listening. Genuinely, like I said, can't do it without you. And it's just nice also when I like put things out there that they're received with like-minded individuals. It makes me feel less alone. But hell no, I'm not gonna be, I could not. Oh my god. Someone said I'm a man hater to my core. Help. You know what really helped me? Because like I get on here and I'll like hate on men. Don't even get me started. But I had someone, or like I read something that was like, you hating men is still choosing men. And I was like, oh, clock it. Like, you think pick-me's where it's like, oh my God, they just like want male attention so bad. They like need it. Their only focus is on if men like them. But you don't think about the opposite, which is still the exact same, which is like, you hate men so much that it's all you think about. Like, it's just, you gotta release it. You gotta release the hate. You gotta release the anger and realize hating something is still choosing something. I think that's what like people who are like, I guess you can categorize them as like haters. That's what they don't understand is they're like, well, I hate something so much. So if I keep focusing on it, how I hate it, and I keep commenting and making videos or doing this or doing that, or like tabloids or photos, or just like constantly eating up your brain, like you're still supporting it and choosing it whether you believe to or not, because it's the only thing you have going on up there. Like, you hating it is the same as liking it on the energetic playing field. It is the exact same amount of energy. And so like, if you really want to decenter men, you just have to be in that neutral state where it's like, honestly, I don't really give a fuck, you know? We all can be good. We all can be evil. Of course, you know, I'm going to stay safe and protect myself and be aware of signs and just like behaviors. Duh, I'm not an idiot. But also, it doesn't need to be like the forefront thing on my mind. Like, I don't need to be at the front lines waving a banner of like, I hate men, because that's the same as waving your titties in front of a man's face to get his attention. Genuinely. So yeah, I think the real key to decentering is to become neutral. I'm very neutral on a lot of things. I'm very unneutral on a lot of things. But this is one that I've really cracked down on, where it's just like, I don't really give a fuck. Once you fuck me over, no matter who you are, like, we're going to hell to fight. I'm not even kidding. But until then, it's like, I got too much going on in my own head to really give a fuck about anybody else's until I need to. Someone asked, is it okay to lie? Oh, this is like where I say yes and no. I feel like I say yes and no on everything, but like, there's always a spectrum to everything. Like, if you take anything too far, it becomes a bad thing. So I think if it's somewhere in the middle where it's like a white lie, it's okay. But when it really gets tricky, when lying becomes not okay, is when you start warping reality. We are not meant to be reality warpers, ladies. We're meant to live in reality and experience reality and let go if we need to, take those lessons, but we cannot warp reality. You can't. It'll make you confused. You will not be on the right path energetically. It will mess everything up around you. It's like literally shifting reality. You're not going to get good things out of that. You're going to get this weird middle ground. So, no, I don't think you should shift reality, but I do think if your friend's like, I don't look good, and it's like, no, girl, you look amazing, it's okay to do her, even if like the dress is ugly but she loves it and she's like, is it ugly? It's okay to be like, yeah, it's fantastic. Like, you don't need to tell the truth about everything. It's okay to just like save people's emotions sometimes. I lie a lot at my restaurant job. Like, when I was at my restaurant, it'd be like, oh, can you tell me if this wine is good? And it's like, bitch, I've never. Yes, it's fantastic. It's the best wine ever. Everybody orders it. You're gonna love it. Like, get it, girl. Guess what? They get it. It's great. You know, like, white lies are fine, but I don't think you should be shifting reality. And I know this because when I was younger, I lied a lot. And I'm talking like young. I was going through a lot. I think I was probably like 15, 16. I lied about everything. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was like this sense of control that I needed, or maybe it was like the feeling of inadequacy, but I was constantly lying about the randomest things. I didn't even need to be lying about them. I remember one time with my therapist, she was like, why didn't you do this thing? And I was like, oh, because me and my parents are leaving for Rome after this. Like, we're leaving the country. You know, I didn't have time to do it because I was packing and I was planning. And she's like, what, really? And then, you know, I walk out of the office, she waves my mom, she's like, have fun in Rome. And my mom's like, what? It's like, girl, what was going on? To be fair, that therapist was a fuck ass bitch, and I think I was just lying because it was like, why not? Obviously, she's not listening to anything I have to say, so I might as well fuck around with her, which is just a waste of time in general. But it was things like that where it's like, what are you doing? What's going on? What? Like, you had no reason to. Why are you? And those are the times where it's like, girl. We just got to face reality head on and live in it. That will help you stop lying. And also, like, seek peace within yourself. It'll help you stop lying, but lying will never get you anywhere. It will put you in this weird, like, sunken realm right below reality where you're living on edge 24/7. And no one needs to live there at all. So you might as well save the trouble and just don't lie. Don't lie. And also, like, the things you want to lie about are probably things you just want. So create them for yourself, you know? Be a good person, do the things you want to do, approach positively, and you won't have to lie in life. But also, like, don't be bored. I also think I was lying a lot because I was so bored in my life. I was like, let me just fuck with people. Like, what? Oh my God, psycho hours. Like I said, I was young and I was very depressed. So I was just like doing whatever I could to try people. And did I get anything good out of lying? No, not at all. But yes, as an adult, I do tell white lies every once in a while. Every once in a while, you know, there's no need to tell everybody the truth. Because if you become a truther, then you're looking somebody in the eyes and telling them their legs are too fat for those jeans, even though they love the jeans and they've had them forever. And it's like, what? Why the hell would you be mean? Like, there's no need to do that. I had an ex who was like that, who was like, would use the truth as a way to be just like a raging fucking bitch. It's like, oh my God, you didn't have to say that out loud. Oh, well, I'm saying the truth. Oh, well, my fist is about to hit your fucking face. Like, you don't have to say everything out loud at all, ever. Like, bitch, if you're gonna rage bait me, say it to my fucking face and don't get mad when I get mad. Like, hello. There is a middle ground. There's a middle ground to everything, but especially with lying. And if you find yourself telling lies often, it's all probably because you're bored in your life and you're trying to create something interesting. Let's do it in a healthy way, mamas. Let's do it in a healthy, positive way, not through warping reality into this weird fucking sunken place. You do not have to live there. Free yourself. Help. How do I survive a depression era? Ooh, okay. You guys, I got tips on this one. Number one, you no longer live in the past and you no longer live in the future. We are focused on the here, right now. And you need to embrace it, embrace the messy, embrace the weird, embrace the ugly with open arms in order to move forward. So, step number one, look at yourself in the mirror and tell you love you no matter what. Like, genuinely. And do it often and do it consistently, whether you feel it or not. Girl, white lies to yourself are especially important. That's step number one. Step number two, make your bed like really cozy, like very cozy. Change those sheets as often as you possibly can. Sometimes, like, when I'm in a depression era and I need my bed cozy, I will change my sheets almost like twice a week, where it's like new pillowcases, new sheets. I'm doing the laundry. I don't care. Just like, I need everything soft, silky, like warm, cozy, especially when I'm in bed, because that's when the deep, dark thoughts hit me the most. Not that I spend a lot of time in bed. I don't think you should spend a lot of time in bed. But when you're in there, you should be cozy and comfy and comfortable. Get a big ass duvet cover that feels like you are like the princess and the pea, you know, covered in beautiful linens, and just get cozy, get comfy. Cozy bed is necessary. Step three, you need a hobby. Bitch, you need a hobby. You need to do something. Like I said, you cannot be in that bed 24/7. I think a lot of my depression, and of course, like, mental illness, duh, hello, but also a lot of my depression or depression eras are sometimes self-induced when I just become bored and I have too much time to think. So in order to save myself, I started taking horseback riding lessons. I was like, fuck it, what do we have to lose? I'm obviously doing nothing. Obviously I have all this time on my hands because I'm laying in bed 24/7. Let me take horseback riding lessons. And I'll tell you what, it is the highlight of my week. I wish I could take them every single day. That's just crazy. I'm realizing maybe I need 2 hobbies now, because I'll do my horseback riding lessons and then wait around all week for the next lesson. Like, maybe we can split that up with something else. Maybe we can include something else. But hobbies are important because it gets you out of your head. Approachable hobbies are important because they're easy to do daily and are a great tool, especially when you need something to distract yourself. I take a lot about hobbies. I know you've heard it before, but they truly have such a genuinely magnetic difference on your life. They do. They make you feel more at one with life, that life is not moving against you, you're moving with it. It teaches you accomplishment, it teaches you patience, it teaches you trust, it teaches you to learn, to be open to learning. Because I think a lot of adults are not open to learning. A lot of adults achieve that bachelor's degree and go, well, I know everything. Achieve that master's degree and go, well, I don't need to learn anything else. Yes, you do. And you need to learn something that's outside of your realm. You need to challenge yourself. It is so incredibly important. And for the depression girlies, it gets you out of that hellhole that is your head. It forces you to get up, to move, to try something different, to put yourself into a new environment, whatever it may be. And I encourage your hobbies to be weird and wild. They should not be monetary based. They should be like, oh, I want to be that girl. In my dream life, if I was this girl, this is what I would be doing. Those are the hobbies you need to be doing now, right now. There's something about being depressed where it kind of gives you the I don't have energy to care about anything, which gives you the courage to just do anything. And a lot of people, I think that's why when they hit depression phase, you can't go any lower. They kind of just keep creating problems for themselves because they're so comfortable in that negative energy. But in reality, you can utilize that lack of energy to do things you would normally be fearful of, to challenge yourself in ways that you would, when you were in your right mind, be fearful of. Thus, when I'm in my deep, dark depression phase, I was like, you know what? Usually, I would be terrified of getting bucked off a horse and hitting the ground. But at this point in time, I don't think I could even care if that happened to me. So let's do it. Fuck it. I got nothing else to lose, let's get into it. And it has been so nice. I could not say any more positive things about my experience. And some have been good. Some have been bad. Some riding lessons, they're putting me on the 25-year-old mare who's like, I'm done working. It's too hot out here. I don't want to do this. This bitch doesn't know how to ride me. She has no clue what's going on up there. I don't want to be moving. It's I'm faced with challenges sometimes. Sometimes they put me on the younger horse that has life and energy and it listens well and it's smooth riding. It doesn't matter. It's just I'm getting out of my house. I'm experiencing something new. I'm challenging myself. I'm learning something about myself and the world around me. And it is just wow. It has a direct effect on my mental health in such a positive way. Number 4, you got to get into your senses. You got to get into your senses to ground yourself. I feel when I'm depressed, I want anything but to be inside my body. I want to be right here, right in front of it so I can view myself. But that's not good for me. We got to get inside of our bodies. So I like to approach my senses. I like to eat really good food. I like to take time cooking food. Once again, that's a very easy way to kind of distract yourself for a little bit and get something yummy out of it. I know you're bitch, I don't have momentum to do so. Soup's the way to go. It's the easiest way to go. You're just chopping things up and throwing it in a pot and your house smells amazing for a while. So eating something yummy, nourishing myself, appealing to my sense of taste, appealing to my sense of sound, and listening to things. I am not allowed to listen to depressing things. I am not allowed to watch depressing shows because I know it puts me into a negative state. I am only allowed to listen to positive things, to watch dumbass rom-coms, to watch my comfort TV shows. That's all I'm allowed to do if I am listening or watching anything. I am not engaging in negative sounds or any sort of auditory processing. Visuals are very important, but you cannot be looking at that screen 24/7. That's not going to help you. You know it's not going to help you. I know it's not going to help you. You know you can put the phone down. Let's engage in beautiful visuals. Your phone screen, not a beautiful visual. Staring at your window and looking at the trees changing colors and the birds flying around, beautiful visual. That's why cats do it for 18 hours a day. My fish tank, I'm not even kidding. I could sit in front of my fish tank and watch it for hours. These snails, they're massive. Oh my God. And they be chugging along through this fucking fish tank. Sometimes I'll even put 8-hour long jazz loop with a burning fireplace on my TV in my living room just to have something to look at, in the background while I'm reading. going on a walk and looking around you. Like, bitch, we need to look at beautiful things. Flipping through a picture book. We need to bring picture books back. Not because we can't read. That is a massive problem, though. We need to be reading as adults. But also, like, I love collecting like different sort of books that have like artistic interpretations in them. I love collecting art books, different art, different styles, different things to read about, like Renaissance paintings. I have a book on like Princess Diana. I have like a ton of Playboys. I have a book on cats. It's just like this giant, massive book on cats. Like, I don't have money for that. I thrift all of them. They're like 99 cents. I go to the thrift store. I buy the biggest, fattest, heaviest books you could possibly find. So when I'm depressed, I can just like flip through them. I guarantee I'm going to come out of that having some sort of like awe and whimsy for the world and appreciation. Touch, feeling. Like I said, if I'm in my bed, I want it to be comfy, cozy. If I'm in clothing, I want it to be comfy, cozy. I want to be comfortable with what I'm wearing. I want to be comfortable with what I'm doing. Hairstyles, comfy, cozy. Showering, I'm taking care of myself. I'm taking care of my body. You have to appeal to the senses, and you have to appeal to each. It will make you come into your body into a positive way, in a way that makes you feel like a whole person. It's very grounding. It's very good. Also, last but not least, if you have the energy, move. Go on a walk. Go to the gym. I know the gym word, especially when you're depressed, is like, I'm going to reach out and fucking strangle you right now, but I fear they're right. I fear they're right. They're right. That's why it's not the first thing I'm telling you. Even though it is the easy answer, it's not the first thing I'm telling you. It's just one of the many tools. I approach this in a very simplistic manner. I will, if I have like 5 minutes in the middle of my day, I'll just stretch. I'll stretch. I'll touch my toes. I'll stretch my legs. I'll roll out my yoga mat next to my cat, and I'll just like open up my hip flexors, stretch my legs, stretch my arms, stretch my back. Done. Does not have to be insane, intense, 8-hour cardio in a 95-degree room, sweat theory-esque. No. I can't do that. I won't survive, and I don't engage in self-harm anymore. Like, I don't need to be doing that. But simply stretching, we're chilling, you know. It's easy, it's simple, it makes me feel better. It releases tension wherever I happen to be holding it, and I feel just like better afterwards. But those are Hannah's main tips for escaping depression. I think they're very practical. I think they're very useful. And as we enter winter, I know a lot of us might be entering some sort of like lower points, especially being cooped up at home. So if you can implement these, I guarantee they will make a positive change in your life. And I just hope they do, because I know they help me. I also think one last little, hard time tip I'd like to give my girls today. Sorry if this has been a downer of an episode. I've just been learning a lot of life lessons, so I figured I'd share them with you guys. Like I said, there's always somebody going through something similar to me, and I hope if I can reach anybody, especially while they're feeling low, then, I am just so grateful to be doing this. Being thankful for your hard times is probably the hardest thing you can do, but it brings so much ease of mind. This is like advanced level depression, where it's like every time I hit a low point, every time I hit like a very challenging, hard low point, I always give thanks. Because when I'm like floating up here, I'm high, I'm flying, I'm chilling, I'm partying, life is easy, things are good. I don't get a lot of lessons out of those moments. Not that you need to struggle to learn lessons. You can take lessons from everything. But I think especially when I kind of, dip on that roller coaster, it challenges me to face my trust, my gut instinct, to hold on, to trust my metaphorical seatbelt that I've provided for myself, so I can continue riding that roller coaster to that next high point, And so giving, thanks for being able to experience a range of emotions, for being able to, always learn and come out of challenges prosperous. It makes approaching it a little bit more positive. It really just flips the idea of it. Instead of like, I'm struggling, I shouldn't be struggling. It's, I'm struggling because sometimes we struggle, and that's okay. You'll come out of it. You'll get there. But embracing the situation and doing the best at what you can for right now is how you truly continue writing that into a positive place. It is, like I said, advanced level depression. And I say depression in a very like lighthearted sense. I understand real debilitating depression is just like so incredibly overpowering and overwhelming. I feel lucky at this point in my life to have done the work where I don't hit those levels as much anymore. So, the struggles that I do face are usually self-induced and usually just a fleeting moment, but I do try and just to give thanks for, being human and experiencing these things no matter what. It makes the negative emotions less scary. It takes the weight and power over or out of those, negative experiences or negative places that you may take yourself to. And it's just a journey of life. It is. I keep this idea in my head. It's like this like rainy day dream that I carry with me. I keep in my back pocket 24/7, where it's like I always envision this like 75-year-old version of myself who, graying hair, long, probably living in her moo in a little cottage house, surrounded by, flourishing gardens, fun quilts, oak walls, trees, stray cats, birds in the bird feeder, maybe chickens and farm animals if I'm lucky. I spend my afternoons, listening to the radio and painting or flipping through old scrapbooks, and the nights with like, a beautiful dinner that I've cooked myself, maybe sharing with friends or just even by myself. Like I envision this beautiful, amazing, completed adult version of myself that is just like being able to chill and live the dream. And I always envision that no matter the hard time. I always do. I'm like, but I'll get there. I'll be there. This is all a part of the journey, and we need to accept the journey and embrace it no matter how, out of place or weird or backwards it may feel. We will always reach that destination we have so highly in our minds. We just need to stay patient and stay trusting in ourselves. And yes, sure, there's always work to be done. This is like a, what would you call it, quote unquote, self-improvement podcast. I like to think of it more as a self-acceptance podcast. But I don't want to always feed this idea of like, but you need to be doing more. You could be doing better. You could be journaling. You could be doing these things. Sure. But sometimes the real lesson we need to learn and the real thing we need to do is accept ourselves in this moment, flaws and all, scarred, battered, weird, awkward, a little greasy, a little pimply. We need to accept ourselves here, unsure, unfocused, not quite sound. Like that is when you need to accept yourself most of all. Not when you're this perfect, beautiful, idealized version of yourself riding the high of that roller coaster. Sure, accept yourself then, but most importantly, accept it at your toughest times. Love yourself at your toughest times. Love yourself at your ugly, at your weird, at your messy. That's when we need the most love. If you haven't heard it from anybody this week, let me tell you, I love you. I'm proud of you. You're doing amazing. Embrace the journey. Embrace any change finding you. And you know what? You need to tell yourself you love you as well. This is your sign to just go look in the mirror, look into your eyes and your eyeballs, look at yourself and say, I love you. No matter what negative thoughts may pop into your head, no matter what positive thoughts may pop into your head, sometimes we just need to look ourselves in the eyes and share that with ourselves as well. If we can't get the external validation, best believe you need to create the internal. And our reality is always what we create of it. Manic positivity, you deserve to feel good. Manic positivity, you deserve everything you've ever dreamed of. Manic positivity, you can create anything you want in this life. But we need to embrace the mess of it all. That's what makes life so fun, Oh, but I love you all so very much. Like I said, sorry this was a rambly episode. You probably could have guessed that was going to happen when I immediately hit a bowl within the first 5 minutes. I haven't done that in a long time. I think back to like my old episodes. I'm not even kidding. I would smoke 20 bowls an episode. That's crazy. There's no way any of that shit made any sense. But hopefully today made sense to you. Hopefully I was able to provide a bit of inspiration to whoever needed it. And like I said, and I can't say enough, I love you all so much. If you need a dose of manic positivity, I'll be posting more of it on my Instagram at Hannah Marlene. You can also submit your question there every week. I upload the questionnaire on Sundays on my Instagram story via questionnaire. You can always DM me as well. Sorry, I only touched on a couple this episode, but hopefully I'm going to do like a speed round next episode. So send me your craziest shit. Like, I am ready. Also, if you want to join the Patreon and support me and get to know other Smoke Sesh girlies, we have cultivated such a really beautiful community over there where we're all able to kind of like share ourselves, learn more about ourselves, and understand each other a little bit more through ourselves. At patreon.com/smokeseshshuddy. I upload extra episodes every week. Sometimes they're 2-3 hours long. I'm not even kidding. I answer every single question you guys submit, every single one. I also upload Monday inspiration. I just uploaded my fall mood board. I need to make a fall bucket list, like fall winter bucket list. That'll be up soon. Sunday spirit, where we talk the metaphysical, the spiritual side of things, and much more. I'm always coming up with new things. I just started uploading monthly playlists as well. Lots and lots and lots of extra content. If you would like to support, come join. But with that being said, stay sane, stay sexy, and I'll see you all so soon. Mwah!